24 hours in the ATO area. First, we should say that in Lugansk area, the ceasefire is observed for the second day. And in the Donetsk area, the situation is volatile near Lugansk village. During the last 24 hours, the militants carried out armed provocations using small arms grenade launchers. Twice, the positions of ATO were shelled with anti-tank complexes. Also, enemy snipers were active. To the west of Uglegorsk water reservoir in northern suburbs of Gorlovka, the enemy carried out a number of provocations. In Zaitsevo, the enemy provoked Ukrainian soldiers 10 times to return fire using small arms and grenade launchers. And also our positions at night were shelled by a mortar of 82 mm caliber. In the suburbs of Gorlovka, in Mayorsk, the enemy shelled our positions for 3 times, but heavy weapons were not used. In the west, from Gorlovka, the situation is tense, and militants broke ceasefire, and they used small arms, and also an enemy sniper was active. Also, the enemy used a large caliber machine gun near Troitsk and near Kamensk village, that is near the highway Konstantinovka-Donetsk. The positions of ATO were fired with small arms. Near Donetsk airport, the situation is tense. Half of all shellings of Ukrainian positions in Donetsk area is carried out near Donetsk airport. The militants actively use small arms, grenade launchers. Near Opetne and Piski, enemy snipers were active. And after dark, the enemy used 82 and 120 millimeter mortars. In Mariupol area, the enemy was active near Shirokina and Mariinka. The militants used small arms near Mariinka, and also they launched 3 mines at Ukrainian positions near Shirokina. Yesterday, the militants shelled Vodyane in Volnovazhka region of Donetsk Oblast using 82 and 120 millimeter mortars. Several houses of local residents were seriously damaged. And this fire was carried out from the west, from Shirokina and Kominternovo region, where the militants are. And the positions of, there's no Ukrainian ATO positions in Vodyane, so the enemy shelled civilians. This week, the militants entered Kominternovo and left it, trying to provoke Ukrainian servicemen to start active military actions. Yesterday, in the region of ATO, there were 2 flight of air drones of the enemy above Mariupol, and they carried out reconnaissance work above Azov Sea near Shirokina and in Vodyane village. In the course of military action during the last 24 hours, there's no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 3 were wounded. Ukrainian servicemen were awarded some rewards, and 282 servicemen of Ukrainian forces were decorated with orders and medals. 17 servicemen of National Guard also they received awards, and they were involved and took part in military actions, and in such near such settlements as Piski, Debaltsevo, Mariinka, Vodyane, Spartak, Shirokina, Stanция, Lugansk, and Счастье. ATO forces are trying to stop the attempts of subversive actions, and they also liquidate the arms cache. So they detained a militant, and it was established that he underwent special training in Vostok militant division. They servicemen confiscated 9 kilograms of plastide, grenade launcher, grenade F1, Kalashnikov machine gun, and Makarov pistol and cartridges to it. In Donetsk Oblast, Ukrainian servicemen found in different caches of arms 328 grenade launchers, 5,000 grenades, 236 machine guns, large caliber machine guns, small arms, 27 explosive devices, 350 kilograms of explosive materials, 300,000 of cartridges, and law enforcement officers and servicemen cooperate in order to prevent actions of the militants that threaten lives of civilians. And Ukrainian servicemen provide some presents for local residents of the frontline area residents. So the groups of civil and military cooperation presented some sportswear for children in a school in Marienka, Donetsk Oblast. Also, they helped them with some equipment for sports activities, and volunteers also, and the charitable organization provided some presents for children, for school children in Marienka, and also some Ukrainian civil society organizations provided some hygienic means and medicines, and also clothing to servicemen who serve near Mariupol. And National Guardsmen undergo training in Dnipropetrovsk. There were a special training for the APR teams, and they were trained in reconnaissance activity, and also were trained in firing. And if you have some questions or comments, please, you're welcome. I have a question. First, about Kominterna. There's information that there should be some information provocation, that they brought some Russian journalists there, and can you specify on this? And about Balaklia, what about the storage facilities? As to Kominternova, the militants, according to the data that is provided by a reconnaissance service, the militants invite the journalists there, and they want to show that Ukrainian servicemen fire from the part of Kominternova, but representatives of OSCE, they confirmed that all equipment that was forbidden and prohibited by the Minsk agreement was withdrawn by Ukrainian side, and the militants and pro-Russian fighters, they do not allow the representatives of OSCE mission to their sites, and they hold this equipment on the sites, and due to this information, we can reject the data provided by the militants that they disseminate among the journalists of Russian Federation. Everything they say is lie, and they try just to distort the situation. But we provide correct information, and we closely cooperate with OSCE mission. And as to Balaklia, this time patrol service worked really well, and they found the outbreak of fire. There were some troubles, but still they prevented explosions. And there's information that there were some subversive groups involved, and now a special commission from the general staff, headed by the deputy of the head official, and also reconnaissance service and other organizations are involved in investigation of this case, and we hope that everyone who is responsible for this subversive act will be brought to justice. And now there are many different views on the situation in Kominternova. Do our servicemen going to take it back, or what is the aim of such shellings, and is there any threat of occupation? What is the tactics on this? Can you give me a mic? I will show it on the map. First, here in this region, Kominternova is situated. It is behind the line of contact, so in the territory that is controlled by the militants. And all the maneuvers that happen in Kominternova, that is connected with the military equipment, it's a provocation. We addressed the OSCE mission and they traveled there, but the militants knew that they would come, and they take out the military equipment from there, and they just create another picture for OSCE mission in order to show that our settlements are to create a fake image. They expect that we will cross the line of contact and thus violate the agreements, and these provocations are directed towards this. Vodyane is located near the highway, and Vodyane is a little bit lower here, so it's not in the strategic way. It is a little bit far, and even if you put something there, it is in this territory. It doesn't have any sense to do something there. That's why they conducted fire from Kominternova, and they wanted to show to Russian journalists that Vodyane, that could be occupied, that it is shelled by. They wanted to shell that these are Ukrainians, but we proved that in this region there's no heavy weapons, mortars, from which Vodyane was shelled. That's why we have clear answer that this was enemy provocation. There is a gray zone, but it is so-called gray zone. There is a line of confrontation from which the troops should be withdrawn, and no one will be on the line, because this line is an equator from two sides that provide control line through which no one should cross. And if this line is crossed, this is a provocation. The militants wait when we do this, when we try to free Kominternova. But we adhere clearly to all the Minsk agreements, and this is the position that make us winners in such a situation. Do you have some other questions? Thank you for your attention, and tomorrow, the next briefing will be held. Thank you.